again, everybody, and welcome to the Matilda Mossman Show. I'm Bruce Howard, joined by the head women's basketball coach at the University of Tulsa, Matilda Mossman. And coach, this week, just the one game because SMU has opted out. You didn't play over the weekend. In the midweek game, it was against Houston, a team that you had lost to on the road, but you played better in this home game. Unfortunately, they got you again.
We did. We played better in all areas. We had, out of our 5 starters, we had 3 guys in double figures scoring, Rebecca, Maya, Yvette, and then our starting 4 and 5 guy, they both had 10 and 11 rebounds. So, I think each person really did their part, but we just missed a ton of layups and then got to the free throw line 18 times, only made 8. So it's an 8-point game, and we leave 10 points at the free throw line. And just too many missed, just inside shots where, maybe there was contact, a lot of times there wasn't, and just couldn't convert.
Yeah, in the first quarter, you had a very good start. Even though you didn't shoot it great in the first quarter, you went and got it. It seemed like you guys were really aggressive, and you had a 17-10 lead at the end of one period of play, so that was good. Yeah,
we had 19 offensive rebounds, but we only connected for 8 second chance points, which means out of 19 offensive rebounds, there were only 4 times that we were able to stick it back in. And that was the most disappointing part, that we were right there in the game, got off to a great start in the first quarter, had the lead, shot in the 30s in the first and second quarter. And then third quarter, we're back shooting in the 20s again, third quarter in the 20s, fourth quarter in the 20s. And a lot of that was due to those missed layups.
Yeah, I was going to say, those offensive rebounds did allow you to get more FGAs. I mean, you had 22 field goal attempts in the first, 22 in the third as well. If you can get 88 in a ball game, that's a lot of attempts.
Yeah, we had plenty of possessions, plenty of opportunities. Just couldn't take advantage of it. But our guys continue to play hard. I think they're still excited about the way we're playing and know that we're competing. Defensively, we were good, to hold Houston to 64 points. And really, they didn't shoot the ball very well. They shot 38% for the game. They were only 58% from the free throw line. So we look at their statistics and think, wow, we let one get away.
Yeah, and you're down by 1 at halftime. You get outscored in the third quarter by 19-14. So you're in the game. You're down by 6. Very similar to the game at Houston. And then, of course, at Houston, a disastrous fourth quarter for you. A much better fourth quarter for you this time. You hung in there and had a shot at winning.
Yeah, at least we were consistent each quarter in terms of having scoring opportunities, made enough field goals. But again, it goes back to those missed layups and those missed free throws.
Rebecca Lasky continues to play really well for you. Player of the week in the American. She ends up with 19 in the game against Houston. What is she doing so well?
Well, we've been searching for that third scorer. My Yvette and Maya had been leading us in scoring all season, and we just couldn't get that third person in double figures. But Rebecca has been pretty consistent all year long. She's one of those kids that you look at the stat sheet at the end of the game and you think, wow, Rebecca led us in rebounding, or a different game, wow, Rebecca led us in steals, or a different game, Rebecca, went 6 for 7 from the floor. So just to be able to see her put together back-to-back games where she had 21 points, 14 rebounds in the game before Houston, and then had 19 against Houston. Just excited for her to be able to have those type of games, because she certainly worked hard over her career here and certainly deserves to be able to do that.
Yeah, and you mentioned the 19 points and 7 rebounds, 4 steals, and that's kind of where she's made her hay in her history, is where her hustle on the floor and getting takeaways.
Yeah, Rebecca's really good at knowing next pass scenarios. She anticipates really well. She gets, even when she doesn't get steals, she gets deflections. Somebody else gets the steal. But, we can count on her for a consistent effort defensively.
Yeah, and again, the shooting not always, but sometimes, and in this case, the issue at 29% and only 4 3-pointers. How many 3-pointers is a good number for you at this point? I mean, 7, 8, if you can get 7, 8, you're in pretty good shape?
I think it just varies from game to game. We don't have a great inside presence. And so people can get out and cover Yvette, they can get out and cover Maya. a lot tougher because they're not worried about us throwing it inside and getting easy buckets inside. You know, our post guys, even with Jessica, with the points she's scoring, a lot of that comes from the three-point line. And getting ready to play Tulane, Jessica had a really good game here against Tulane, and I think hit 3 threes in that game. So we're just not that. We just don't have that back to the basket, catch it on the block, you know, power move, drop step. We just don't have that right now. But we really feel good about our guards, and that will continue to be our strength. And we will continue to play to that.
Yeah, and you know, you still get paint touches, though. You still get the ball to the bigs in the paint, and of course, you have a lot of dribble penetration, which is important. You do have to stretch the defense.
Right. In order for our guards to be able to get off uncontested shots, we have to get paint touches. So whether it's going through our post players and they catch and reverse it, or getting ourselves off the dribble into the paint and kicking. You know, we've done a pretty good job of that. We just have to be able to hit open shots. Yeah,
it would have helped also. You know, you talk about shooting. You're usually good at free throw shooting, but that was not a strength for you the other day.
Yeah, the last couple of games we have not shot free throws very well, and it's by people who normally shoot free throws. So it's sometimes, you know, that's a mental thing. You miss a couple, and you got kids who never miss 2 in a row, and then all of a sudden that gets in their head, and you know, the advice is move on, just, you know, make the next one, and unfortunately sometimes that's a little hard to do.
All right, so the Hurricane falling to the Houston Cougars. The final was 64-56, but the season moves on. We'll talk about what's coming up next for TU women's basketball when we continue with Matilda Mossman.
Are the American.
What is true blue? It's true loyalty, supporting others with unwavering commitment. It's true innovation, thinking creatively and strategically to make a difference. It's true strength, taking risks and standing up for what's right. True Blue is a 125-year legacy. Find the true you at the University of Tulsa.
We're back on the Matilda Mossman Show, and Coach, as you look at the standings, a little bit of a delineation starting to occur on the standings. Your team is 4-7, and the team closest to you, above you, is Temple at 7-4. So a little bit of a line being drawn there, but you still have games to kind of make that move, huh?
Yeah, there are quite a few teams right now with 7 wins. South Florida, Central Florida, I think Houston, Temple. Tulane got a win Sunday.
So they have 8.
They have 8, yeah. So they're actually on top of the standings now. And, you know, with 4, a lot of things can still happen. Everybody's got 6 to 7 games left. Our goal is to finish in the top 6 so that seeding for the tournament, you don't have to play that first day. You know, teams 7, 8, 9, and 10, they'll have to play basically a play-in game to get into the 18 bracket. So, you know, just trying to stay away from that if we can.
Yeah, absolutely. And you play that Tulane team coming up. It's going to be a difficult road stretch for you. You play Wednesday at Tulane, and then Saturday against South Florida. You know, you start talking about 2 of the top 3 teams in the league on the road. That's tough. How do you gut out a victory or 2?
Well, our next 3 out of 4 games are all on the road, all against teams that are right now above us. So it's the same kind of set of games that we started the season with. And at that point, I think we're a much better team now than we were back in December. And, you know, having new players, not having played together before, and now you're playing the number 1 team, the number 2 team, the number 3 team, the number 4 team. And, you know, we were competitive in all those games with the exception of South Florida here and really the Houston game as it turned out down there. But we were in the game with Central Florida, in the game with Temple. And so it's just about trying to put some things together now that we've played together, now that we've established some rhythm, and you know, trying to get some splits now and try to move up the ladder as much as we can.
I was going to say, a lot of times when you go up against these teams that are really good, that you have to, I assume, look at it as an opportunity.
Absolutely. It's just like, we swept ECU first time since the 15-16 season that we had a sweep over a conference team. And then, we were hoping to get the split against Houston when they came in here last week, but didn't happen. But so now you're playing all these teams for the second time. And so if you can get a couple of splits in there, 2 or 3, I think it makes all the difference in the world.
One thing we do want to mention before we close things out, you may remember in the last few years we've had the teddy bear toss, I think for the men's and women's games, and those teddy bears going to the children at St. Francis Hospital. We are doing the virtual teddy bear toss, if you will, and we're asking folks to please give to our fund in order to provide teddy bears to the children at St. Francis. TulsaHurricane.com. It's TulsaHurricane.com/bears. Please donate, because it's very important. We want to continue this process, so we certainly want folks to donate, and the proceeds will go for the children, and also whatever is left will go to Coaches versus Cancer. And I know that's something that you deem very important. Very
important. In fact, I've already purchased my teddy bear for the virtual throw-in, and encourage other people to do that. I mean, it's for a great cause, and it's just, to me, it's just a very simple way to help out.
Absolutely, and I think the cutoff date is the 11th, but get up on the website and get all the details and certainly donate. That'll wrap it up for the Matilda Mossman Show. Coach, have a great week.
All right, thank you, Bruce.
We'll talk to you next week.